Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed that video. I think there's a lot of funny, cool videos out there on YouTube on domain and range that you guys can watch later. The next video that I'm going to record is one about how to do this next worksheet, which is called Pieces. Of course, you're going to use the back of your foldable, your Dixie and Roy foldable, that shows a bunch about set notation and interval notation and algebraic notation. I hope you guys can see that. This is not new. You guys should have seen it last year in Algebra 1. But just to refresh your memory, whenever you have an interval or I guess a set of ordered pairs, you always look at the endpoints. If the endpoint is open, then it's considered to be a parentheses. Okay, if the endpoint is closed or a closed circle, then you're going to use brackets. That means that point is included in the set. So if you look here, not only can you write it with the bracket, but you also write it with the less than or equal to with that little line underneath. If you look at the -3, the -3 did not include, well, this set of numbers did not include the number -3, so it includes a less than but not equal to. The same thing here under set notation. So set notation, algebraic notation, and interval notation are just three different ways of writing the same exact thing. But you need to be able to recognize that a closed circle implies brackets and less than or equal to. An open circle implies not equal to, just less than, and a parentheses. Now, the symbols are going to change depending on which direction you're going. Okay, in this case, it says all values greater than or equal to -3. So my y values are going to be all numbers greater than or equal to -3. So you put a little line underneath. It's also a closed circle, and since it goes to infinity, infinity is not really a number, so we put a parentheses. It can never really be equal to infinity. Okay, it is equal to -3, so we include that with a bracket. Again, the last example, it shows you set notation, algebraic notation, and interval notation. Okay, this is saying the arrow is now pointing to the left instead of to the right in the previous example. So if it's pointing to the left, that means it's going towards -infinity. So because we can never be equal to -infinity, we're going to put parentheses, -infinity, all the way up to 4. 4 is positive, but 4 is an open circle, so we're going to put parentheses. These are three different ways of writing the same exact thing. It may not make a lot of sense right now, but it will, I hope, with this next example. If you go to your pieces, your turn. Make sure you put your student number, your name, period, and date on your paper, please. That will be very helpful. Each graph below represents a portion of the quadratic function. Answer the questions regarding the domain and range of the given functions. Use set notation. Okay, so for example, if I look at function a, which is this one here, what is the smallest x value for which the y is defined? So if I look on my line, just like that guy in the video, the graph starts here at -5. So the smallest x value for which y is defined is -5. So you're going to say that. The smallest, maybe I'm going to write it in black so you guys can see it. The smallest x value is, I guess I'm going to put for which y is defined is -5. This is, of course, an open circle. So what does an open circle mean? If you look back at your notes, an open circle means that you have a parentheses and not a bracket. Okay, and then at the very end it says what is the largest x value. So as I move along the x-axis, the graph is defined for -4, -3, -2, -1, and at the very end it has an arrow. So an arrow means it's going towards positive infinity. So the largest x value is positive infinity. This contains an arrow. So anytime there's an arrow, that implies infinity, which also means parentheses. Write the domain for the function a. The function a has a domain of -5 to positive infinity, and you're going to use parentheses on the -5 and parentheses on the positive infinity. It says, did you include the values found in the previous question? Why or why not? And you're going to write, I did not include -5 because it has an open circle, which means it is not included and infinity always has parentheses. Okay, if you go to the next question, it says for function a, what is the smallest y value? So how far down does it go on the y-axis? Well, we're going to look here. The smallest y value is going to be at -3. So although there's not a dot there that you can physically see, I'm going to go ahead and put it there. So the smallest y value is -3, and how far up does it go? Well, it's defined for -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 6. But since there's an arrow there, that means it's going to go on forever. So the smallest y value is -3. It contains a closed circle, and the largest y value is positive infinity. And it contains an arrow. So write the range for the function a. The range would be the smallest number, so from -3 all the way up to positive infinity. Because -3 had a closed circle, we didn't have it there, but I added a solid circle because -3 is included in the range. So I'm going to put a bracket, and then to go up to positive infinity, anytime it goes to infinity, that means parentheses. So that is going to be your range. So you're going to say, I used brackets on -3 because the point is included in the range. An arrow points to infinity. And infinity always has parentheses. Okay, so I think with this example and that video, that funny video that you guys watched, and previous knowledge that you already have, you should be able to complete function B. So that's your assignment. You need to work with your partner to complete function B, and then on the back you have function A and function B. At the end of the class period, you need to turn in this worksheet, and you're going to keep your foldable. Okay guys, thanks for hanging in there with me. I know it's been hard not to have me there, but just keep doing what you're doing, keep up the good work, and I will see you soon. Bye.